Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to day 3 of my Project Life mini-series. And we have a lot to cover today. I know it'll be at least 3 videos all broke up for you guys, so make sure you click right at the top of this video and head over to my website so you can see exactly the order in which I have the videos and information laid out. That might help you to understand what I'm talking about a little bit in these videos. I have a ton of information to go over with you guys today. Today, I wanted to do getting started, like when we first get started with Project Life, and then I have the really long video of getting caught up that I shot with my friend Wendy, and that is going to be up. And then I wanted to end the day with setting some goals for our Project Life album so that then we could tackle some of the major components of Project Life in the coming weeks. So I've been getting feedback from you guys, and I wanted to address a couple of questions that came in. And so I'm struggling a little bit on exactly which way to go with this video. So we're just going to jump in and see what happens, and this first video might be broke up into a couple different parts. So this album, you're looking at one of the very first albums where I started to do Project Life. So this is the second half of, this would have been 2011. So this would have been July 2011 through December of 2011. So what happened was in April, I was really behind. So for 2011, I was really behind. We moved 3 times that year. I was pregnant, and we were, our family was not split up, but we were living separate for a couple months while my husband started a new job and we looked for a new house. And so the first part of our year was extremely crazy. So I did take photos. I knew it was important to keep taking the photos, but I was really behind. So in April of that year, what would have been April of the following year, I found Project Life. So then I went back and tried to get caught up with my scrapbooks in the Project Life style. Okay, so you can see that I just took my own, I didn't have a core kit. I didn't buy a core kit, probably for another 6 months after that. So I just took my own paper and I cut it down and used the style of the 4x6 and the 3x4s, okay? So I didn't even do a title page for this. You can see I still have a sticky note that says for my husband to journal. And then you can see I just did the style of Project Life in 12x12 albums. I started using inserts. I started getting familiar with those. And you can see that here we have the style. I have journaling that's not even attached here. It says add journaling and paper. My journaling is stuck in there, but there's no paper there. I'm missing photos here. So this is very real. This is like, I'm just sharing with you guys, all of my albums are not perfect. You know, all of them are not just everything's right and perfect and in the place and all the journaling's done and all the pictures are in there, because I'm just like all of you. I get behind. I get behind on my scrapbooking. That's why I went to Project Life. That's why I started doing Project Life. But still, it's not perfect. Here, photos are missing. So then, and at this point in my photo taking, I'm still taking 100 photos and trying to include 100 photos of the same event. This is my daughter and her friend making chalk. We were making these chalk animal things, and we're making them on the front porch. And here she is, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos of them doing the same thing. This could have easily been cut down. These could have been cut down. I only needed 1 photo to understand what was going on. This one would have been a perfect photo, 1 photo to include for that week. That could have been my photo for that day. So I was still in the process of learning that I didn't need 100 photos of the same thing. Now I still could have taken, I would have taken all of these different photos, but I only would have included one in my album. Like if this were to happen today, I would still take all these photos, I would pick this one, and I would include this photo in my family album if that's what I did that day. And then either the rest of these photos would have gone in her album, or I would have just kept them. I would have used them for other projects, something. I don't need to include all of these for one page. So here we go. I started adding these. I started adding inserts. But you can see, as far as traditional scrapbooking, it starts being more Project Life style, and that I'm not making a huge fuss about it. I'm just kind of getting used to doing it. So at this point, as I'm doing it this way, see, here's a park trip that I have 90 photos. It was really unnecessary. So at this point, what I'm realizing is, as I'm going back and doing this, because you see I was trying to get caught up, so I was going back and doing this, and I was realizing what I'm talking about is that I have all these photos, and it's unnecessary that I have so many of the same photo in my album. But that brought me to a new issue. I thought, well, to do a photo a day, I don't have enough. Nothing happens to me. I do laundry, I do dishes. We don't do a lot. I don't do a ton with my kids. I don't take them a ton of places. Especially I had a new baby. There just was not a ton going on. Yes, I have kids and they do things that I can document. But as far as our everyday life, I didn't feel like there was a ton. So that is where, because I was used to taking 100 photos of the same event, I didn't really know what it would be like to document my everyday life. So see, here's page after page of Andrew when he first came home. This is, I did do these with the kids where I did, I'm taking photos of the kids. See, here's a thing that I still need to find a photo and do journaling. And this is 2 years ago, my album. Here's an accident that happened. I did this Project Lifestyle. I just used normal paper, and then when you flipped it over, I did this. I did it as a 12 by 12 traditional page, but I glued it on raw. I used this background paper. Yeah, I glued it onto the other side wrong, so it's in there wrong. And then here I started using pockets. So here's actually the pockets. So then all of a sudden I found out, okay, it is easier to use the pockets. Okay, so I was like, okay, I'm done trying to do it on 12 by 12, but I'm gonna use the pockets, but I'll still just use my own supplies. So here I did that, so I start liking it more. This was Thanksgiving, so there are more photos than normal. But again, here is this photo happened one night. This incident happened one night, and I have 4 photos, all in 4x6 of the same event. It is the same thing. I can look at any one of these photos and understand what's going on. And my journaling explains what's going on with one photo. So then we got into the holidays, and you can see here's it's not finished. And what I found is, as I started wanting to do Project Life, I started trying to be creative with the style of photos I would take. So I would take a bunch of photos in portrait, which is not natural to me, and I would take a bunch in landscape, and then I would have this big, huge mix of photos because I was trying to be creative, and so it wasn't working. So like, this is a perfect example. The reason that this isn't finished is because I don't like it. I had all these different photos in different directions, going in different directions. I didn't know what to do. Nothing fit into a pocket, so I had to do it on 12 by 12. So here's my journaling. It's stuck in here. At least it's there. And then here's some more documented. At this point, really, I just wanted to get this album done. And so I can remember feeling like, let's just get the photos in there. Let's just get it journaled. I did my typing, I did journaling, and let's just start fresh with 2012. Okay, so that is what I did for this. So I just got it finished. I stuck a big pocket page in here at the end, and then honestly, I've not gone back and tried to do anything since that time. Okay, so that was really me trying to figure out what project life was for me and what I wanted to do. And what I found out is what I didn't like was how messy this looked. I could have made a beautiful 12 by 12 layout of these photos if I had the time and the energy and the desire to do a normal 12 by 12. It would have been beautiful. Okay, so it wasn't that the project lifestyle wasn't pretty, it was the way I was doing it did not work for me. So after that, now this is the last part of my family album. So this is this year's album from July to December. Okay, so for 2012, I did not have a core kit. Okay, because remember, it was April of 2012 that I found Project Life. So I went back and tried to do the end of 2011 with Project Life because I was so behind. I was an entire year and a half behind. Okay, so I tried to just do it the best I could, and then for 2012, I really just, by the time I really decided that I really wanted to do Project Life, it was like November. So I knew for 2013 I would just start fresh and I would buy a core kit. So the end of 2011 all the way through 2012, I just did albums like that where I used my own stash and tried to get caught up. 2013, I got a core kit. I decided to get the Clementine core kit, the Clementine dividers, and Clementine 12 by 12 paper, and only use that. That didn't last long, but that's how I started out. So I also decided to do it weekly. So my layouts have a title card up here in this first square, and it is my week. So this is week 28, okay? And then I just do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, okay? So as I'm doing it that way, what's happening is I'm trying to remember to take a photo a day. It's really hard, I'll be honest. Here in the holidays, I've not been good about it. I did really well almost all the way up until the holiday season, but I'm trying to take a photo a day and document our life, okay? So I do the days, whatever days it is. I have some really, fun stamps, or I have cards that I just circle or write out what days. So this was July 2013, the 7th through the 13th. And then you see, I just have photos, and then I do one theme overall. Okay, so this was the cherry core kit. So then I love design. I believe this is design E, and it's the 6x6, and I throw this in here whenever I don't have a lot of photos, not a lot's going on. I throw this one in here. So this was July, and this, actually I'm going to skip all through this because it was not using a core kit. And okay, so for July, you can see I have inserts. Like one of the things that I did an insert of was this 8.5 by 11 when the royal baby was born. I took the People magazine and I just pulled out the article of that and I stuck it in here. I'm not a big person that follows, the royals or anything. It just is part of history. It was on the news. We were watching it. We were following it. I did, what was interesting to me. And so I thought, in years to come, what if my mom had an album like this of when Princess Diana got married? Okay, so that's something that happened that she remembers watching and the big deal about it. So what if she had an album where she had this in here that had the week, what she did that week with us. And then my husband got a letter from work, recognizing him for some stuff, so I put that in there. And then it was sort of a busy week. We had some things going on. So these photos are nothing, they're just our life. We hung a shade up. A friend came and helped us do that. That was my photo for that day. Maybe I took other photos during that day. Maybe I did take other photos of my kids that day, but that's the photo that I chose to represent what happened that day. So then in August, I started using the Midnight Core Kit. I used the Midnight Core Kit for all of August, and it's one of my favorite kits. I talked about it yesterday. And here is just our life. So this is what Project Life is to me. So I have August. This was August 4th through the 10th. It was week 32. This is a terrible photo. It is so dark. You can barely see it. My goal for last year was not to worry about how my photos came out, to edit them or anything. It was just to get a good year under my belt of taking more everyday photos. So yes, this is dark. You can barely see it, but it's all my kids piled up in our bed one night. We're all watching a movie. And then this is a photo that came out really blurry. It was from far away and it was taken on a phone. And my daughter started talking to this little girl that her grandparents lived next door to us, and they were visiting their grandparents. And she just started talking to them, and she came and said to me, Mommy, I made a new friend. And it's the first time that she's really reached out on her own and tried to talk to somebody new, or, you know, another little kid. And so I wanted that in our album. I took a photo every couple weeks. I have to do this in my girls' room where I have to dump everything out, sort everything, clean everything up. And I was sitting there doing it, and nothing happened that day. We were home all day long. There was absolutely nothing new that happened in my day that day. But this is a common thing that I see in my life. You know, every couple weeks I'm doing this, and it won't always be like this. There'll come a day when their room isn't even like this. Maybe it won't even be these colors. So I grabbed my phone and I took this photo because I wanted to remember that when they were little, this is something that I did. I'm also really big about documenting my home. We had changed the living room around, and this was a free printable that came from Becky Higgins. And I took photos of our house. I do this every couple months. I take photos of my home just because I like it. You know, every once in a while it'll hit me and I'll be like, oh, I need to take pictures of our house. So it came at the perfect time. We had just changed the house around. So I printed out those cards and stuck this as an insert that week because that's what was happening. This is another great photo. So when you think like, well, I don't have anything that goes on in my life, so I can't document it. Well, this is a photo. The weather had been amazing. The heat had kind of tapered off a little bit, and it was like in the low 80s. It had been really hot, and it was just really amazing weather. And so I had the door open all week, and so I just snapped this photo. Again, it was a week we weren't doing anything. I was just home all week with my kids doing housework. But I took this photo and then I just documented how wonderful the week had been. The kids had just been running in and out. You know, the end of summer, it was right before we were starting school. It was just a really perfect really perfect weather for that week. So the other thing that is really great to do is if you're feeling like, well, I can't take a picture a day. Not enough happens. I can't remember to take a photo. I don't know what to do. So there's great options. Do weekly. So just do, this can just be, it can be the same kind of title card where you're saying August 4th through the 10th, and you don't even have to do a title card, okay? You can make this pocket here another photo. You could stick a card in one of these 3x4 slots that said week 32, August through whatever, or you don't even have to date them. You don't have to go in the chronological order. You can just be like, okay, this happened the first week of August. If you're printing your photos weekly, you can take anywhere between 8, as less as, you know, okay, so let's say you can only take 5 photos, or as many as 20 photos, anywhere in between those, and you're going to be able to fill one layout. So say you do it weekly. Okay, so say you do, this is the week of, and it's an overview, and you just put all your photos in, and you're just like, okay, on this day, you know, I went to the doctor, and this is what happened. On, you know, this day, this is what happened. So that is a great option. Or the other option is doing a monthly view. So make this August. Okay, so that's what I do for my kids. This is Kayla's album, okay? And what I do is a month, I do like basically one layout per month. So this is January of 2013. She had an insert. She had some extra stuff. In January that happened. So this is February. Okay, that's it. That's March. That's April. That's May. June. July. July she had some extra stuff that happened. August she started school. Some extra stuff happened. September, see, I'm behind on her album. October, and then that's what I'll do. And then I'll do November, December, and then I'll start a brand new year. I'll start 2014 in the same album because that's only that much of the album. I'll probably get 2 years worth of her album into one album. So you can do a overview of the month in one layout. You're still doing your part to tell your story, to tell what has happened to you throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up because I'm sure I have rambled and rambled and rambled on and on and on. And my next video is I am going to go ahead and share that video next of how to get caught up if you're really behind. So if you're like me and you're thinking, I really don't want to leave what I already have, the photos I already have, I don't want to leave them undone to start 2014. I'm going to show you, the next video I share is how to get caught up. And literally you can take 3 to 4 to 5 months and get caught up in one afternoon. Okay, so I'll share that next, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about some goals for the new year, for our new album, and how to set those goals, what to think about, and then we'll jump into some big topics of project life, like photos and organization and that kind of stuff. So make sure you view the next video, and thank you guys so much for coming by. Please, please, please leave your comments and let me know what you're thinking. I want to address them. Okay, so I want to hear your feedback and where you are and what you're thinking. So thanks guys, and I will talk to you in just a little bit.